In the Severn Estuary, we have the second highest tidal rise and fall in the world, and therefore in many ways it's just crying out for that tide to be used. And what we're doing as government is looking at the way in which we can harness the power of the Severn Estuary while also being responsible environmentally.
There are huge energy resources, tidal energy resources in this estuary, and it's very focused. So you can get a lot of power from a very relatively confined location. Two sides of the triangle, so to speak, are already in place from the coastlines. So in that sense, much of the empowerment is already in place. It will have benefits in terms of flood defence, because the structure will pose a restriction on the flow coming in from the sea, so it will reduce the peak water levels.
If the Cardiff Western barrage option was built, that would lead to a reduction in the amount of sort of mudflats and other habitats exposed of up to 3/4 of them. So that option could potentially be very environmentally damaging, and we believe that there are lots of other options that could be less environmentally damaging that the government needs to really adequately and thoroughly explore.
And personally, I think the option that would simply dam the whole estuary and would completely wipe out the habitat for the birds is not the one we should be going for. I think it's very 1960s, I think it's a massive piece of engineering, and surely we can do a bit better than that now.
Something has to be done to use the water power in the river, but it's got to be carefully thought out because of all the birds that have been here for hundreds and over 1,000 years. The geese have been coming to this area.
This area here is Lavernock Point. This is on the South Wales side of the estuary. In terms of the alternatives to a barrage, there are several types of schemes, be it offshore lagoons, land-connected lagoons, reefs and tidal stream turbines. And we believe that some combination of these technologies would be a more appropriate way to harness the power of the Severn Estuary.
I think the problems of climate change are enormous. I think that the vast majority of us still don't really understand how massive a problem we're going to face, and I think we need to do everything we possibly can, and the barrage is just one, alongside wind turbines, tidal stream turbines and so forth, one of many major projects which we're going to have to undertake to address the challenges of climate change.
This is not only an environmentally risky project, it's also an economically risky project. The Lavernock barrage in France is about 1/20th of the scale of this proposal. It's never been done at this scale before, so there are engineering challenges which would have to be surmounted, which would incur economic risks.
We all have a fairly big vision about what we'd want to see appropriately dealt with in the Severn, but no single scheme has government support.